Remember, there is no bad beat. A bad beat is a beat that is not out yet. It's one that's stuck in your hard drive, or one that's stuck in your mind that you can't get out. And I want to show you today how to get that out. It's important, okay? So let's get it. We're going to have fun doing it. Alright, so cool. So the first thing you're going to notice is that I have the USB keyboard hooked up to the MPC. That's the only thing that I have telling my MPC what to do. My MPC tells everything else what to do, okay, with the CV cables and MIDI and all that. Today we're just going to focus on key groups and drums. We're not going to worry about the plugins or anything like that. So this is going to be a walkthrough, okay guys, straight up. I'm going to walk you through this. Turn on your MPC and you make sure that your speaker output on the back is going into your speakers or into a mixer out into your speakers so you can hear audio. If not, grab a headphone jack and plug it right in the front where the headphones are so you can hear what's going on. We're going to turn on the MPC, alright? And the first button you press whenever this is how you access all of the sounds that are on your MPC, okay? You're just going to hit empty project. Empty project. This is how every MPC should come. It looks just like this, okay? So we're going to zoom in here. I'm going to show you this. I'm going to do this right. Alright, so you go in here and we're on empty project. There's a browse button on your MPC. If you have an MPC live, you need to double tap that button or hit shift and browse. But you hit browse and it takes you here. You got places, content, and expansions. Alright? We're not worried about places. We're not worried about expansions. We're going to content. We want the content that's in our MPC right now. We are in standalone. This is straight up out of the box how you are going to get your MPC and what you can do with it. Okay, so your drums right here. These here are drum kits. They have kick, snare, hi-hats, everything. And every single one of these, they're all different. They all have different kits. If you want a specific wave or anything like that, you can type in here snare or cymbal or whatever, crash, and it'll pull up every single 808 that you have in here. You can go in here and type in 808 and do it, and you got all your 808s. See how small that thing is? It's got all different 808s in here. We're not focusing on that. I'm just going to go ahead and make this really easy, and we're just going to select the whole kit, the 4 squares, right? If you look at here, I want to point this out right now. If you hit drums and you're on the 4 squares and you go back to the main screen, you'll notice that that's for this. It's got the same 4 squares. Okay? And same there is the keys. Okay, so when we hit browse, the keys, they're right there. So what I'm going to do, first thing you do is you load up one of your drums. You can hit load down here, like that, and it loads up that kit. You can double tap it. On the MPC X, there's an up, down, left, right arrow on this side right over here, and I like to use that. And then I just select what kit I want, and I hit that blank button in there. I'll refer to it as the OK button. Okay, so I got 2 drum kits loaded up. 2 whole kits. What you hear is what you're going to get. I don't have the audio going in here. I just want you guys to see this workflow, okay? So I got my drums. Now what you want to do, and we're just under content. All we did was hit browse, we went to drums, we selected a drum kit with the 4 squares. Instruments, you got all these different instruments. You got bass, you have guitar, keys, lead, pad, pluck, all these different ones. So there is no bad sound on here, okay? So what you need to do is find in your song that you want, you know that you're gonna need you're gonna need a bass. So you load up one of these basses. You can hit load down there. So here I got brass, so I'm gonna load up my brass. And then I'm gonna load up my guitar, because I know now I got bass, brass, guitar, keys. I got piano now, so that's 4 different instruments. And I'll explain this as we go, is each instrument gets its own track. You got to treat each instrument as its own identity. This sounds nice. So you're going to pick out like 5 or 6 different sounds, okay, is my whole point. You got 2 drum kits. You picked out 2 drum kits. Just pick 2. And then for your instruments, just go through these. There is no bad sound, okay? You can always edit these sounds. The sounds that they give you in here are really, really nice. They're gifts, okay? They used to not have sounds when you had a good MPC. We used to not come with... These are all really nice. So, okay, the reason I say do this is super important. Guys, hang on one second. Alright, so the reason I say that's so important, guys, is because the last thing you want to do is in the middle of your song have to go back here and find a sound that you want. Unless it's a drum, a lot of the times I'll have a melody going, and then I want to go ahead and go through my different drum sounds. I hit browse, and then I'll hit my drums and hit hi-hat, and then be like, well, which hi-hat do I like with this song? It might sound better. I'll show you guys that too later on when we have a song going. But for right now, all we're gonna do is hit main. All we did, we turned on our MPC, we hit browse, we're under content, we went to drums, we selected 2 kits, and then we went to instruments and we selected like 5 different instruments. That's about as far as we got so far. All we're gonna do, we're not gonna worry about sequence, and all we're gonna worry about are the keys in these squares. We're not worried about the plug, these clips, the MIDI, the CV, none of this other stuff. We're not worried about none of that other stuff. Just track and key group. So right now, whenever you turn it on key group, you hit the piano, it shows the sounds that you have loaded up. So you have bass. These are all the sounds that when you hit browse and you hit those instruments, these are the ones that were in there. Before, you would hit this and it would just say program 001, nothing on it. It would look like that. And same with your drums. It'll say program 001. But since in the beginning we selected 2 drum kits, we have our drums. We have the acoustic kit that we selected and this other kit. And like I say, the kits all come with whole kits. Now, like I say, if you want to play a song and then later on go through your drums and select a sample, type in hi-hat, it'll bring you all the hi-hats, kind of like what we did with the 808s earlier. This way you can find one that fits the melody of the song. But we're not there yet. So what we're going to do, me personally, I like to use the metronome. The metronome's up here. I make sure it's on during record and play. This way I hear a little... It just keeps me in time, okay? And if you're playing a beat and you're wanting it to come back swingy, meaning not quantized, your timing correct. Like if you're ever playing a beat and then it comes back being robotic, then turn this off, the timing correct up here at the top. That way what you record, even if it's off a little bit on purpose, like in the middle of 1 and 2, you drop a note, it won't quantize it to the next 16th note or the next 8th note or whatever you set it for. You just turn it off. And that way you can get it real nice and swingy. Here's what we're going to do. Me, I like to start with the piano. So bass, right? And as soon as you hit it, you're like, what am I going to do with this? You know, it sounds good. I'm just going to set this for 4 bars just to start. okay? And I'm gonna lay down a bass line. That's all I'm gonna do. To do this, I'm gonna hit the record button right here. I don't hit this far left record button. I've probably hit it like 10 times since I've had my MPC. I hit overdub. That way, whenever I start playing, it's going to count me in 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it's going to start playing. After I play my bass line, I'll tap that again, but it'll keep playing. Watch, I'll show you. I'm going to do my bass line right now. First, I'm going to hit play and figure out what I want to play with it. So I like that, right? So I'm going to go ahead and keep that. I don't want to stop the music from playing, so I'm just going to hit the overdub button. Now that I have track 1 done, let me turn this down a bit. Now that I have track 1 done, what I want to do is go ahead and go to track 2. Track 2, and I'll select my second instrument. And now keep in mind, I can play, and it's not recording anything. I don't want to stop that workflow. So I'm going to figure out what I want to play. The best thing to do is if you don't like a sound, turn it down, but play something with it anyway. Cool. Just trust me on this, okay? It's not the song that we're focusing on here. It's the workflow. I didn't mess with sequence at all. Just track in this. And I'll keep doing this until I run out of sound. I got my guitar now. Let's put a track on here. Check it. Again, I hit the overdub button, keeps the song going. I don't want to stop, and you don't want to hit browse and go back to find sounds right now, because then you're gonna stop. You don't want that. This isn't good. I've done this. This is not good. Check this. Go back in here. Track 4. Keys. Again, it's about the workflow. It's not about the beat, which this beat's going to be fire in a minute. I'm going to show you how to take it from a 4-bar beat and make it into an 8. We have a couple more sounds. So what I'm going to do now is take this, because I don't want it to be so repetitive. Make sure you hit that overdub. I had it on while I was recording. Off. Now I can play all I want. And it's not recording. I can get the groove for whatever I want. Go on to track 6. Got this lead moog. Now I want this to be 8 bars, so I'm going to go up here to sequence. You can't just turn it to 8 bars, because then it's only got 4 bars worth of stuff. So you got to go to this pencil. You hit that pencil, and we're going to double the length. You just tap it 1 time. Now it's 8 bars. See? Now I'm going to drop some Moog over there. bar loop going with that. Okay, hit the overdub button. I'm gonna go ahead and go, I think we have 2 more sounds. And it sounds like a lot, but this isn't gonna all go off at the same time. This is gonna be going off, we're gonna tell each track when to go off. 7. Big pad surge. Remember, these are just sounds that we randomly selected. We're just gonna record something. Okay, good enough. Go to 8. Warm pad. This is our last sound, okay? And the more sounds the better, because we're not gonna, I might only use 1 sound. Check this out. I'm gonna go again. Cool. We got 8 tracks. Going to 9. We're out of sounds, so now we have the drums. Go in here, and you guys can play drums a whole lot better than me. This is just going to show you how to use one kit. We have 8 tracks. We're going to make 9. I'm going to play 16 pads, and it's going to make it 16 plus 8, 16, 24. We're going to have 24 tracks whenever I'm done with this. I'm going to make it all on 1 track and then explode it, okay? It's going to mute out track 9, but then give me 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Check it out. All right. Keep going. All I'm doing is hitting note repeat. Filling in the blanks. These 2 pads right here are bothering me. Don't even trip on it. We're gonna fix that. Big crash at the end. Cool. Hit the overdub button. I'm gonna hit pad mixer. You can hit menu and go to your pad mixer. These drums right here are killing me, so turning them bad boys down. In this pad mixer screen, if you missed it, you hit menu, pad mixer. You can go to each one of your drums and add effects to each drum. We're not doing that right now. I'm just making a simple beat. You can spend all day long adding effects and doing crazy stuff like that, but we're gonna stay on this train that we're on right now. We got everything on 9. We're gonna hit this pencil, and explode. That's all we did. Track 9, hit the pencil, by track, and hit explode. It muted track 9, like I said before. Check this out. We took track 9, made one big drum mess, okay? This is all that's on track 9, is all these different drums. So now what I want to do, I'm on my main screen, I hit the pencil, I hit explode, it mutes track 9, but now, if you hit menu and track mute, you can see that you have the 24 tracks that I was talking about earlier. Now you can mute out each drum. I told you guys this was going to be fun. So what we're going to do now is basically we're going to unmute everything except for track 9. If we unmute track 9, all the drums are going to play, because that's where all the drums were in the beginning, I believe. Maybe it was 8. Nope, it was on 9. And either way, what we're gonna do, we're gonna unmute everything except for track 9, because I know we exploded track 9, because that's our kick and blah 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 blah. So we're gonna hit main. Trust me on this. We're gonna unmute all this stuff. We're gonna come up with an intro, a mid, a break, and any parts that we don't like, we'll just take out. I might not use everything in here. So check this out. We're in here. I'm just gonna hit this sequence. The only time we're messing with sequence is the pencil and copy. Copy 1 to 2. Let me explain this to you. You want to copy 8 times. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And the reason you want to do this is because that's the only time I'm going to stop this song. Now you have 8 of the same identical sequence. Now what you can do is go to your track mute, you hit menu, and the 8 times 8 bars is 64 bars, which gives you a good 2-minute long song, or 3 minutes almost, and that's about what you want. It's about what you want. So basic rundown real quick. What we did, we hit browse, we selected our drums from the content. Don't worry about places or expansion, just content. We hit drums, instruments, we selected mad amount of instruments, the drums, 2 kits, and we forgot about that screen. Each track got its own instrument. Each track got its own kit. I didn't even use the second drum kit, so I didn't need to. But I didn't have to go back to browse while I was making a song to find out if I wanted it or not. So what you want to do now that you have these copied is hit menu, and then hit track mute. Track mute for sequence. You want to highlight sequence. It says 8, sequence 0, 1. Turn your jog wheel all the way to where it goes 1, sequence 1. That's your first sequence. This is going to be your intro. So I want all these drums muted. Okay? I don't want no drums coming in. I just want these like I had it, right? Cool. Sequence 2, it'll reset. Now I have that whole sequence over again. So I know I had all these muted. So little by little, I think sequence 2 should just come in swinging, honestly. That's what we're going to do. We're going to come in hitting with everything except for track 9, because we exploded track 9 and we don't need track 9. I can actually clear track 9. Go to sequence 3, and I'm just going to do them random now, okay? Just to kind of get through this. It isn't about the beat, it's the workflow. And you can spend hours saying which drums you want, where, and yada, yada, yada. Let's do it. You really don't want them to repeat. If you notice, I kind of, I'll show you here in a second. I like to go through all of these. We're going to outro with those two and mute these drums, to say the drums. It's always good to get in the habit of labeling your tracks. You can hit this little pencil here and label what it is. So when you hit menu and track mute, where we just were, these won't say track 9. It'll say keyboard or whatever the name is. I'm just showing you for the sake of the video. Looks like I copied it 9 times. I only need it 8 times, so it doesn't matter. I'm only going to use 8. So now from 8, follow along here. We don't want these to be the same ever. Even like a Rubik's Cube thing. 2 is going to come out swinging hard. 3, then 4. Cool. And I don't want all the synth parts playing at the same time either. Cool. So let's say, okay, we got all the sequences, the same sequence. Check it out. We got all the same sequences. One sequence copied 8 times. And they're all the same. But now we have different parts. And to put them together, we have menu. And now the last step is go into song mode. And you hit song and you hit insert 8 times because we have 8 sequences. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's many ways to do this. This is the way that I do it. Check this out. You go in here. Let's clear this again so I can show you. You hit menu. You go to song. All we did earlier, we hit menu and went to track mute after we copied the sequences. Now each sequence is independent. Now we go to menu song, insert over here at the bottom right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And see here it says 1, 1, and then another 1. This is for like repeat. If I want that to repeat twice, I can do that. If I want to shorten these bars, I can. I can't double them, but I can make these shorter if I want to. But I have to go to the main screen in order to do it. So the answer to that is no. So sequence 1. See, look, 1 to 1. 2 goes to 2, and so on. 3 to 3. And all this is doing is telling, okay, for the 5th 8 bars, we're going to play sequence 5. For the 6th 8th bars, we're going to play sequence 6. And so on. There's one more important part. Don't go anywhere. If you could, what we're going to do to make this, you can go up here and push play and it'll go down and show you everything, and you could be like, okay, yeah, no, I like that or I don't like that. And you can make your changes is by just going to menu and then hitting track mute, and it'll keep your format in song mode. So all you have to do is go back to song, start at the beginning, hit play, and it'll go down again. Once you're happy with this and you want to make the wave file like the finished product, or make it into a sample so you can insert the fade in and fade out, you do it like this. If you convert this sequence from here, it's only going to give you 32 bars. Wherever this bar is highlighted from is and up is where it's going to convert from. So 8, if I go here, it's only going to give you 8 bars. Trust me on this. You want to hit from down here, then hit convert sequence to 10. It should say 9, but I copied mine earlier. We'll do that again. Check it out. So I have it all here. I got 1 to 1, 2 to 2, 3 to 3, 4 to 4, 5 to 5, 6 to 6, 7 to 7, 8 to 8. I convert from down here, convert to sequence 9, okay? And then you clear this. You're good. You're done. You're like, okay, I listened to the song a million times. I did the track mute. I hit the pad mixer. I adjusted everything. Same with the channel mixer. You go to each program, the keys, and you can add effects to each one of your keys, each one of your instruments. You go through there. I'm not doing a mixing and mastering tutorial on this one. This is just how to make the song, okay? So we got the song in here. We go to sequence 10. I got 64 bars. Okay. 64 bars. And I got the whole song on there. So we're going to go ahead and listen to the song. And this is what's really cool is all I have to do is go to track, since we got 24 tracks in here, we'll go to track 25. And if I wanted it to be an audio track, I could make it an audio track where I could go into my MPC and sing over this. Or if I want to just simply add, we're not going to use those plugs. If I just wanted to use another instrument just to play over the top of this, I could record 64 bars of something totally independent, which kind of glues everything together. So that's kind of what I'm going to do, I guess. I'm going to use, don't mind what I'm doing right now. I'm just picking an instrument that I like. Okay. So we're going to listen to what this is, and if I think I can record over it, I'm going to. But we made this together. And after 8 bars, it's going to come in swinging hard. Cool, so that's it pretty much, okay? So check this out. I want to show you the last step, okay? And it's not about the song that I'm making. It's the work. I'm not putting any emotion into this whatsoever. It's just a tutorial. So I'm going to hit the pencil on sequence. I'm going to bounce this to a sample. It's going to bounce the whole song into a sample, okay? I'm going to change this to sequence 11 now. Better yet, an empty sequence. Track 1, we're going to go to drum program. This is a little more advanced, but I told you I would show you how to do it. We're going to go to assign samples, and we're going to find our song. Alright, so check this out. We're going to go back here to sequence 10. Bounce the sample. I don't know why I didn't do it in the first place. Assign sample. I don't know how long that went. But after you got your sample and everything, what you want, if you have your sample on this pad and you assign your sample, you can go ahead and set your fade in and fade out points by, you assign this, you edit the sample, and like I said, you want to set your fade in and fade out points before you hit the button. So we're going to fade in here, hit process, fade in, hit OK. And now what that does, it only fades in what we selected. The same with the fade out. You want to fade out, you hit process, fade out. Okay. And what that does is it finishes your song with the fade in and fade out. If you do it all like in one and you hit fade in, it's going to start off small here and go big all the way there. You have to set your points. Now you just assign that to pad A1 where your sample is. Trigger it with the step sequencer. This way when you hit play, it plays your faded song, your final product. And you can even go to your channel mixer and go to your master and add more effects and whatnot. But you want to hit the folder and then hit export as wave, stereo output, and you're good to go. You got your finished song. You can put it up on BeatStars or DistroKid or whatever. You can change the wave to MP3. That's fine too. If I'm collaborating, I usually do wave. If I'm finished, I do MP3. And that's about it, really. That's all I have for you guys today. I really hope that helped. Again, all we did, most importantly, we turned on the MPC and we hit browse and we stuck with content. We hit drums, instruments, loaded up a couple of kits, went track by track, and then after we had all of our tracks filled up, we went to that drum track and exploded. Remember, we hit the pencil on the drum track. We exploded. I think it was like 24 tracks, and then we hit the sequence. We copied it 8 times, which gave us 64 bars. We hit menu, went to track mute. Each one was different, remember? Then we went to song mode, menu song, inserted all those dilly pops. Made sure they're all 1 to 1, 2 to 2, 3 to 3, 4 to 4. Go to the bottom one, convert it to the new sequence. Go back to the new sequence. You're supposed to be able to bounce it to a sample, and then you can trigger it from pad A1, put your fade in and fade out, export it as that, and you're done. If you have any questions or if I skipped anything on here, please feel free to leave them in the comments. I'm a bit tired, but I wanted to make a video. It's been a minute, okay? So I appreciate you guys for watching, and again, if